What if your goals weren't small, but 10 times bigger? What if you acted with 10 times more force? That's the radical proposal of the 10x rule by Grant Cardone, a direct challenge to mediocrity, a powerful philosophy. Grant Cardone argues that most people get stuck by thinking realistically. But science backs him up. Setting bigger goals breaks mental barriers. A study in the Journal of Applied Psychology shows that high goals can boost performance by 20% to 25%. Instead of settling for earning $5,000 a month, aim for $50,000. That kind of challenge lights up your brain and activates neuroplasticity, reshaping your mind to match that level. Cardone defines some levels of action, from doing nothing to massive action. For example, if you're making 20 sales calls a month, go for 200. That's 10x thinking. Neuroscience confirms that increasing action levels rewires the brain and breaks limiting behavior patterns. Cardone insists that success isn't a luxury. It's your duty, your obligation, your responsibility. A study in cognitive psychology found that people who take full ownership of their lives are 40% more likely to reach long-term goals. Grant Cardone urges you not to settle. Don't be one more option. Become the option. When you dominate, you don't respond to the market. You shape it. You don't follow trends. You set them. You don't ask for permission. You establish your presence. Think Apple. Think Tesla. They don't lower prices. They don't beg for attention. They don't compete. They dictate the rules. They change the standard. They make entire industries uncomfortable because they do what no one else dares to do. That's what it means to have a vision so clear people follow you not because of price, but because of belief. To have an offer so powerful it eliminates all doubt. To define your own worth and force the world to adapt. Anticipate adversity so fear doesn't freeze you. Having a plan B, C, or D doesn't make you weak. It makes you unshakable. Stress training psychology shows that planning for worst-case scenarios reduces cortisol and boosts emotional resilience. When you truly examine the worst that could happen, you realize it's not that terrible. And that frees you to take smarter, bolder risks. Master your time. If you give yourself 8 hours to finish a task, it'll take 8 hours. But if you only allow 2, your brain enters laser mode. Cardone advises short, intense deadlines to produce faster, sharper results. This also reduces emotional burnout. In a structured environment, the brain favors precision and efficiency. Cardone also warns, don't depend on a single box. Diversify your income streams, your networks, your skills. For example, if you run an online business, launch a digital course. Create a strategic partnership. If one fails, the others still generate results. That's how resilient empires are built. Grant Cardone aims to be omnipresent, for his name to be recognized everywhere in his niche. Powerful brands invest in strategic visibility. Apple, Google, Tesla. Studies show that repeated exposure builds brand trust and a mental recall. He talks about developing a productive obsession, relentless drive with no excuses. Cardone calls it a good obsession when it's focused on bold goals. Psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi coined the term flow state, where you become fully immersed in the task. Only focused obsession can get you there. A real-world example. A female entrepreneur went from a digital concept to 7 figures in 6 months, working day and night, obsessing over her product, her brand, and her sales, sleeping little but moving with absolute clarity. Respond to criticism with results. Cardone sees criticism as a sign of progress. Social psychology confirms this. Public exposure brings critics, but also reinforces your inner conviction. Don't run, rise. Elon Musk receives millions of attacks. But his companies keep breaking paradigms. That's what happens when you're at the top of the game. Cardone's formula: act like there's no time. He calls it structured urgency, focused energy, clear deadlines, real scarcity, calls to action with ticking clocks. Marketing research shows urgency can increase conversions by over 300%. Why? Because the brain hates to lose more than it loves to win, and when it senses time is running out, it acts. It moves. Now imagine applying that principle to your life. Give yourself 48 hours to launch what you've been postponing for months. 3 days to plan your financial breakthrough. A few days to finish that hard conversation that could change everything. When you bring real urgency into your life, you create momentum. And momentum is one of the most powerful forces in success. Don't wait to feel ready. Set the date. Step forward, because success doesn't wait. It meets those who accelerate. Now here's the 10x daily system Cardone recommends. 1. Define a 10x goal. Write it down. Make it so big it stretches your identity. Don't pick what feels safe. Pick what forces you to grow. 2. Design a 10x action plan. Multiply your efforts by 10. If you had 5 daily tasks, now make it 50. If you made 2 hours of sales calls, so now do 20 and stay consistent. 3. Execute in laser mode. Use Pomodoro-style timers. 90 minutes of focus plus 15 minutes rest. Eliminate distractions. Go all in. 4. Review, adjust. Repeat every week. Check your results. Adjust the plan. Then go 10x again. No excuses. 5. Train your mindset to dominate posture, tone, energy. Use what neuroscientists call embodied cognition. Your body influences your mind. Stand tall, speak with certainty, move with presence. So now ask yourself, what goal are you ready to multiply by 10? What massive actions can you take this week to activate that vision? Remember, big goals plus massive action plus full responsibility plus strategic domination equals unstoppable transformation. You are the only real barrier between where you are and where you could be. The rule is clear. Think 10x, act 10x, live 10x. Your life won't wait. Start now.